remember, today you and me, we got a routine going. We're gonna talk about a yay or nay. We're gonna talk about a free product. We're gonna talk about the products of the year. Products that I think benefit the homeschool, at least benefited mine in a huge way, and you know I bought 100 of them. And I'm gonna start off with what I think, to be honest, should be the product of the year. Is the product that I think every homeschool mom should have, and this is not sponsored. I would love them to sponsor me. I would love it. And I've done absolutely nothing in order to reach out to them to get them to sponsor me. Let's see, remember, almost every day of the week I film a video, almost every day of the week. Maybe 5 to 6 days is usually what I try to do. Okay, so we got the yay or nay at the end, which is, besides this product I'm gonna start with, product of the year, this would be my second product of the year. Okay, your free item today, did you know that they have free like blank maps of all different types of all different countries, all different continents, the world that you can fill in? I think they're super cool. I'm gonna leave a link to that as well in the description. My advice today, remember every day I give you a piece of advice, reverse planning. So reverse planning is if you need someone to know, or you wanna know yourself, everything you've done this year and how many days you actually did schooling, what you can do is reverse planning. Is instead of being super stressful, is have a blank planner, and every time you do some type of schooling that day, you mark it down. You mark it down, but remember, don't forget to include when you're walking and talking about stuff, when you're baking, when you're onto the mail, you're going to the post office and you're talking about different stuff. Like schooling happens so organically all the time, and those things count. So don't forget to include those, especially if you have a body to report to. What I used to do in Florida when we used to live there, one of my 75,000 moves, what we used to do is I had a private Facebook page, a private Facebook group, and because I had to keep a portfolio, my portfolio was I would just take a picture of us and what we were doing and list the activity that we were doing. All right, are we ready? I'm looking at my list here. Oh, remember this week we talked about how to make a study unit. We talked about what I think is the best and worst curriculums out there right now that I have purchased. I've purchased I've purchased like 100, but still, just so you can take a look. All right, products of the day. No, products of the year. Products of the homeschooling year, if you will. Product number one is a product I created. It's $5 for like 87 pages. And it is for, my thought process is children who have Asperger's, who have motor planning problems, who have autism, or just an older child who needs to do preschool skills like number identification, printing numbers, writing numbers, adding, subtraction, understanding 10 frames. But those books, if you get a kindergarten book or a preschool book, they're very babyish. So this was like, I created a Minecraft one so that it's older, so older kids don't feel like they're doing something baby-like as they slowly work through these problems and these puzzles. So there you go, it's $5. You can get it on my Etsy, of which I only have 2 products listed, but you know what? It's there, it's available. Only one person has ever purchased something. To be honest, I forgot about it for several years. And I just picked it back up 2 days ago. But there it is. Okay, so next up we got fun schooling. Oh, I was gonna leave with the best product of the year. The best product of the year is the Epson ink tank. But it's the 2800 model. I will leave the link of the exact one I bought. I compared it with the newer ones that have like a huge price tag, like a big hike, like a couple $100 difference versus the $200 one I bought. I bought it for, I wanna say $232, and it gets you 7,800 pages of printing. And no one needs a printer like a homeschool mom. No one does, or who's ever homeschooling in your house. No one needs a printer like the homeschool mom. It's mostly homeschool moms, so that's why I'm gonna go with homeschool mom. So there you go, that is my product of the year. So let's keep going. Next up is the Fun School Journal. The Fun Schooling self-directed journals that they have. It's called a journal, but I don't know if it really is a journal per se. I don't know. But anyway, so it's a Fun Schooling has these books that are completely self-directed, and it covers all these different areas of science and art and writing and all the different areas you can think of, and it's self-directed. So it's like, hey, what 5 subjects or what 5 things do you want to learn about in science? Write down 5 things in the upcoming year that you want to learn about. And then you do that, and it says, okay, so there's a page you do, a page every day. And it's for those students who are really self-directed, or in the summer, maybe in the summer, you're like, you know what? Let's try and shift some of the responsibility maybe from curriculum onto this and try that for the summer. Okay, so now I gotta pull products out of the closet where I have stashed them. Okay, so let's start off with, hope I'm not too close, hope I'm not too far to your face. These are genius. They're just flashcards with a picture on them. We have Frazzles, but there's a few different companies that do it. So what it is it's got a picture on there because nothing will commit a word to memory. I have noticed, and I have read, and I can attest to that. Like a picture with a word. So you could, so we're talking, look, this is win. So they go through the deck like this until they get it, and then at the end, it tells them win. If you don't want to use it for phonics words that they should be sounding out, that's fine. If your kid has trouble with phonics, use these would be my suggestion. Now this is not a winner of the year, but the concept is a winner as far as I'm concerned. These are, so this is the Titanic, they're smart games, but they're solo games. So they're solo games. I've showed you a bunch of them on the channel. I can't find my favorite one. I don't know where I put it. Shocker. Can't find something in my house full of stuff. But what I like is, so it's usually ages 8 and up, but they have a couple of them that are younger than that. But essentially what I like it's a one-player puzzle game. I like them because you can do them as a team. You and your child can sit down, brothers can do them together, sisters can do them together as a team, and that's why to me they made product of the year. And it's using like critical thinking and, they're challenges, right? They're puzzles. And so I really like that. These I love. I've showed you them before. I just think they're just so cool. They're so cool. So they're Dr. Bonafide, and they are bones of the hand, bones of the rib cage and spine. They're basically all the bones in the body. Which one's book 1? Book 1. Now, they're kind of pricey because you're talking $60, but they're the teacher's manual and the activity book all in one. So distal phalanges. So, and look at that. So it teaches, youngerish kids. You could do middle school. You could do, grade 1, grade 2. I don't know, whatever you want with them. But just for a kid who's interested in medicine and doctor and the human body, I go to my grade 5, my 5-year-old. What do you want to study this year? And he goes, nothing. And then later I go to like the next kid up, I go, what do you want to study this year? And he goes, everything. That's what I'm dealing with. Product of the year, it's a map. Check out this map because it has reusable stickers. So that's what I love about it, is when you're like, no matter what geography you're using or what study unit you are using, you can just go through and it's a giant map. And then again, I'm moving, so I don't want to open it up. And they're reusable stickers. So as you go through and do it this year, and then you can roll it up, save it till, next year when you go through it again. Okay, another pile of product. Okay, back again. All right. So these, I get it. You've seen them. Why do I like them? Do they make product of the year? Yeah. Why? You don't have to be the best product in the world to make product of the year, but you gotta be you have to serve a purpose. These serve a purpose. They are the pattern blocks. You know what's funny? So these are the pattern blocks, and this is from Learning Resources. I bought pattern blocks that weren't from Learning Resources, and it kind of screwed me. I had to get rid of them because they didn't fit in any of the activities. So it's got to be regulation size. All right, so I don't even know what that is. Okay, so these boards, right? I get it. Any puzzle boards you want. You make them yourself, download them off of Pinterest, whatever. I like them because they increase concentration and focus. Do my kids love it? No. They're not like, oh, this is the best thing I ever had. No. I'm like, you gotta do a challenge. So they gotta do either a puzzle, something where they have to sit down, and it's not hard, but focus. You have to focus to do it. And it does use motor planning skills or motor skills and things like that. But just for the fact that you have to stop and calm down and sit down and do it, I think is very important, which is another reason why I got this. This is also product of the year. This is the High IQ by MiniLuk. They have mini versions of this. This is the big version, but they have mini versions of it. A lot of kids report loving it. Did mine? No. But again, we did it because it covers critical thinking, it covers math, it covers a lot of different stuff. They're simple puzzles. And once you learn how to do them, they're easy. They range from easy to hard. So it starts off easy and it goes up. So they got math, they got all different areas you could think of, storytelling. And here's your clue. But what's interesting is that even the easy ones, you have to sit there and pay attention. Like, okay, block number 1. And then you gotta get it from here, number 1, and put it on. So I've showed you a few different times about how to do it. And it covers a ton of different skills. Do my kids love it? Again, no, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta do stuff you don't love to do. Sometimes mama needs you to do stuff you don't wanna do. You know what mama doesn't like to do? The dishes. You know what mama does? The dishes. Hey, you wanna trade me? I'll trade. I'll trade. Okay, super duper safety school. It may have prevented me from getting assaulted if someone had read this book to me. This teaches you, for example, if you're lost, who do you go to? You go to a mom with kids. You go to the cashier at the store. Those are safe people that you can go talk to and tell that you're lost to. I could not recommend that book more. Another product of the year is, and these products were clearly not created in this year. Like I don't think I have one that was created in this year. Next up, we have snap circuits. Check this out. You can get a kit and do not be intimidated. I didn't use them for years because I was so intimidated. I kept waiting for my husband to do it because I'm like, I don't know anything about electronics. Little do I know, you open the book, you copy the design, very easy. A here, B here, super simple. It's just one picture, you copy it, and then you read the little box. This lights up because blah, 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 blah. And so it's great because it also teaches problem solving. Like say you have this on wrong, and it doesn't light up. Well, then let's go through all the steps and see what we can do. What did we do wrong? What did we do right? So to me, that is a homeschool product that is a winner. The classical acts and facts science cards, these cover biology and the earth. And just check them out. Check them out, they're super thick. I ordered a bunch more, all the other areas I ordered. They're very thick, and on the back, it's got just basic information about that. About animal reproduction. Again, it's about like parts of the geosphere. I mean, it has it all in here. Animal cells. Oh, here is microscopic organisms. It's got the definition, and then on the back, it's got important information about that. So again, the way it's supposed to be done, if you did it the way the program does it that these came in, I don't. But every day for a week, you focus on one card that year during cycle 1. And then the next year, maybe you do cycle 2, the year after you could do cycle 3, or however you want to space it out. And then you go back and you pull up this again, cycle 1. Let's talk about seed plants. You give the basic definitions and information about seed plants and go through that again. That way it's in their long-term memory, so when they are old enough that they have to utilize this for testing, for making experiments, whatever it is, it's in their long-term memory. So that's kind of how they were designed. All right, next batch. Okay, back again. All right, simple clock, visual timer. Visual timer goes on, goes off, has an alarm when it's done. I like that for little kids to let them know, hey, pick up a book, find a book that interests you and look at it for 5 minutes or something. And that's your reading, even if they can't read. This is air dry modeling clay. The reason I like it is because it's super soft. If you buy regular clay, it is hard as rock and it is hard to utilize. Super soft, non-toxic, and I wanna say $14 for the whole thing. So to me, that is a winner. Hey, I'm sorry, but if you don't put a shirt on, you can't come in here. What did you put all over your face?
It's paint. I've been trying to paint. Yeah, I want to wear all of this in my tag.
Okay, I love that. I love that. I'm still filming though. I need to finish this up. Why don't you go get a shirt and come in here with me? Or come sit with me.
I need to find the right place to be triangle. Oh, here it is. Mommy, right here. There we go. That is how to put.
All right, let's talk. This is awesome. It is a modern craft book. I have very selectively chosen only some of the top books I think would help you the most or be the most interesting to you. So they have them. This is for early modern history. This is Biblioplan. There's nothing too really Christian in here, so even if you don't like Biblioplan because you're secular, this book may appeal to you because it's got just a bunch of crafts of what they do. It's got like 161 crafts in here, crafts and recipes for the early modern history. So obviously you don't need to do their program in order to utilize the craft book because it's like if you're doing a dream catcher from around the world and from the United States. So I think it's super cool. Next up, one of my favorite books, Human Body Theater, Human Body Theater, Human Body Theater. of which I was never in. Okay, so let me show you a couple pages about human body theater. So it's about a skeleton and he's putting on a play. And Act 1 is just all about the skeleton. And then Act 2, he goes and puts on his next costume, which is muscles. So this is kind of what you're seeing. So you get a lot of the information, but I mean, it's just about the human body. So it's up to you. All right, next up, creative problem solving. This is one of my favorite books. You're using your magic pencil, and I bought, from the Critical Thinking Company, I bought all they had to offer. I dropped like $100 on every book they had. And let me show you a couple. So Planet Swamp, there you go. You're designing an animal that could survive there. Here's something else you're doing, and it's really well liked by my son. Oh, there's a hole in the bag. Use your magic pencil in order to solve the problem to keep the food from getting out. Like, what could you do? Could you put a wagon under there to stop it from hitting the floor? All right, next up is, remember, I love this book, Earth on one side, water on the other, everything man-made, for the most part, everything man-made or biological that has gone on under the water and under the earth. And you learn so much. Every page, you learn so much. It's by a teacher and an artist. And they just make magic. They just make magic. All right, so I got 2 more books here and then we'll go to the final product of the year. This book I love. It is the Elements book. It tells how to use the element in daily life. It's even like, I can read it to my young kids. Arsenic, whatever but it tells where you find it in daily life. And that is what I like about it. And I pair it with that Adams kit. You've seen me do that before. Okay, these are my favorite books. This is from the science curriculum I use. You don't need them if you have the science curriculum, except it reinforces it. But it explains, if you have a child what's cotton candy made out of? It explains somewhat complicated concepts, I guess, in a fun, easy way. They are made of atoms. Everything is made of atoms. And look, we link together. And we all have different names. Hi, I'm an atom. My name is nitrogen. In this book, we show atoms with arms and hands. An atom doesn't really have arms and hands. Drawing arms and hands helps us understand how atoms work. I think that's great if you have an Asperger's child who is very literal and is like, what, atoms? I don't know, atoms hold hand. But it has them for geology. It has them for any area, the 5 areas of science. All right, my product of the year. Product of the year, where are you? Where is it? This is by far the biggest winner. Watching my 5-year-old play chess, how can I not recommend the Storytime Chess? It has a book inside, very colorful book. You open up that book and it's got a story for every single piece on the board. And so it tells you the king can only take 1 step because his pockets are full of food. So he can only take 1 step at a time in any direction. And so I just think it's great. There you go, products of the year, and that is my yay or nay. It's definitely a yay. And I hope I'll see you tomorrow or the next day. Bye-bye. Can you say, please like and subscribe?
Please like to like.
And hit the bell for notifications.
Hit bell for notifications.